welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where we have real conversations, real questions. Today's guest is...
My name is Greyson Maloney.
And I'm the other host with Douglas here. My name is Julius Kortikowski.
Sorry, I didn't introduce the host next. I just wanted to go straight to the guest. But it's whatever.
Is what it is,
We're chilling.
Yeah, we're chilling.
Here. You know, the important thing is Grayson is here with us today.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So I'm kind of excited about this one. I'm kind of
Absolutely.
want to know a little bit more about the Maloneyness.
The Maloney mantra.
Pretty much. What is the Maloney mantra?
Well, the Maloney mantra is really, it's just the way us Maloneys carry ourselves, really, Like I said, Maloney's Irish, so we take great pride in being Irish. I'm actually Irish-Italian, so...
Ooh, very interesting duo.
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting combo.
Some loud speech going on there.
Absolutely.
So, does both of your sides of your family have big families?
My dad's side is actually pretty big. He only has one brother, but he's got like a lot of cousins and all that. So, so we always have a big family reunion whenever, like once a year up in Silver Creek, New York, up at Sunset Bay. It's about like 40 minutes south of Buffalo.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
What do you guys do there? Anything fun or just regular burgers and dogs?
We usually cook up something special. One of my cousin Melissa, she always makes this really good casserole. So, tater tot casserole.
Ooh.
To be exact. Yeah.
Good food, good people.
Good
dude.
People. Dude, we always got great eats, man. Always got great eats. That's a necessity at every family reunion. I feel.
It is.
It's got to be. I mean, with all the conversations you got to go through, all the things you got to dodge and pivot,
Where's your girlfriend? Why aren't you married?
Man, the amount of times I've heard that question over the last few years, it's starting to really piss me off.
Oh boy. Yeah.
I have to give the same answer every time. I'm like, I don't know where she's at.
Who'd you vote for in 2020? That's a dangerous question to dodge.
I feel my answer kind of drives some of the women away, but you know what? We're just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
We're just gonna leave it at that.
All right.
So, we got into your family. What do you call it? Maloney mantra.
Yeah.
So what do you call it? You're Italian.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one?
Irish-Italian.
Irish-Italian. That's got to be an interesting mix.
The eyes.
Yes, it absolutely is. Well, actually, so my dad's actually adopted. So I was raised Irish. So I still consider myself Irish because I still practice all these things and all that. But I am predominantly Italian. My mom is full-blooded Italian. My grandma's full-blooded Italian. So I'm at least 50%. I know that. So
that's good.
Yeah. So
have
funny story. My birthday's on St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Kind of nice, man.
Hey, it's just an excuse to booze, man.
Not much. 4th of July, St. Patrick's Day, Dingus Day.
Memorial Day too.
Oh yeah.
I love Memorial Day. Memorial Day is probably easily one of my favorite holidays.
There's something nice about the summer holidays or the summer get-togethers that you can have with your family or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
4th of July is a great holiday.
I'm not gonna lie. 4th of July is definitely an
4th of July
one.
is my favorite for sure.
Like out of all the holidays, actually, like Christmas gets a little stressful because you gotta plan some stuff out.
Yeah.
There's a big dinner.
Right.
But like 4th of July is nice because it's just a barbecue. It's a bunch of friends. A bunch of drinking. Like everyone having a good time.
Yeah.
For me personally, so I live on Lake Chautauqua. I live in Bemis Point, New York, which is like 10 minutes from Jamestown. If you're familiar with that area.
Yeah, I know Jamestown.
Yeah. It's
only into Jamestown.
Yeah, you ever heard of the National Comedy Center?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in Jamestown. So there's been all kinds of like big name comedians to come there. Like Gabriel Iglesias has come there.
Oh, really?
Kevin James, David Spade, Sebastian Maniscalco, just to name a few. But like I was saying, on the 4th of July on Lake Chautauqua, it gets crazy. It gets absolutely crazy. There's this one place that we go to. It's called Long Point State Park, and there's always just so many boats and jet skis there. It's like everybody literally ties up and it's just like one long row of boats, like one right after another. So, and I quite frankly, I've never seen the lake more packed on 4th of July than any other day out of the year. So
See, I don't know about boating. I don't know if I'm a big boat guy, but I definitely like a picnic area party.
Absolutely.
Like I don't know about the boating, but like I definitely like being near a lake, kind of like
just being near the water. You know, it gives off a certain kind of vibe and some sort of energy. You know, you know, obviously for me, being raised on the water, I have no problem with it, and just being outside in the sun.
You know how to swim, Grayson?
Yes, I do. I'm a very good
He doesn't
swimmer.
need floaties, Jeff.
Do you know how to swim?
Floaties.
Do you know how to swim, Julius?
Yeah, I know how to swim.
Okay, good.
No? What do you call it? Ever since I was little.
Okay, yeah.
Like small. I used to jump off the dock like face first. Like this was when I was much bolder.
Yeah.
I used to do like a front flip into the dock and almost hit my head off the
Oh boy.
off the edge of the dock there.
Yep.
But I've ceased doing that because I'm a little bit larger now. You have to be a little bit smarter.
Definitely
Not as ballsy. As when I was.
Absolutely.
I don't know how I did that.
We got to take care of ourselves now, you know.
Dude, yeah, like what do you call it? Sometimes when I do stuff, I feel like, ugh.
Yeah. So, you know, after a long day of work, you know, sometimes I'm really feeling it into the next day, and sometimes even into the next week. So, it's, you know, our bodies take a toll now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how'd you end up at Alfred?
So, really, one of the biggest things here, or for me to come here, was football. And obviously, you know, a cheap education. Well, not cheap. You know, cheaper. We'll say cost effective. More cost effective.
It's in the middle. I feel like it's definitely in the middle.
Absolutely. And you know, really, I had like three choices. It was here, Alfred University, and Brockport, and Cortland. I was thinking about Cortland too, but if I was going to go to Cortland, I would have just went to school. You know, I chose to come here because, you know, I got offered a football roster spot, and it's always been my childhood dream to play college ball. And so just making that dream come true really kind of sold me on it.
I mean, yeah, listen, if you can do both, like, you do both. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to be a student athlete, you know, it's kind of nice to be able to do both those things.
Absolutely. And, you know, and my mom actually told me this. She said having 4 years of college football on your resume looks really good. It looks really good.
I mean, it's a dope thing, man. But sometimes, it's like I've found being a football player myself, it's hard to explain to the fam sometimes.
Yeah.
Like what you're doing for 4 years.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
they kind of
Yep.
look like, no offense, like I had my mom question me sometimes, like, you could be working right now, Jules.
Yeah.
Working.
Yeah. My dad said the same thing. You know, my mom was always really kind of supportive in whatever I wanted to do, but you know, my dad always kind of just kept it real with me. So it was good to have kind of like, I don't want to say like opposites, but just both perspectives.
Parallels.
Yeah, parallels. Yep. Absolutely.
You know, you get both perspectives, and don't get me wrong, like it's nice to have it, but like at the same time, like I do believe you got to do you.
Absolutely.
You know, in your situation,
right.
You got to do what makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
Like football is not forever.
Yeah.
You know, most people who play college sports aren't going pro.
Yeah.
Most of us are, like maybe 5-10%.
Oh, it's less than that.
It's like 1%.
It's I think it's like, I think the number of high school athletes to college is less than half of 1%, and college.
I thought it was 7.
It was
7% of high school athletes, and then it gets smaller from there.
You might be right, actually. I'm not sure, but like I know it's less than 2% of college athletes going pro.
I believe that second number.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Because it's hard, man. It's like, what do you call it? It's like without like you could try and go pro with some of these other leagues that aren't the NFL.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people try and go to the CFL, the Canadian Football League.
Riley's actually doing that.
Riley, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's been trying out, you know, and there's been some posts on the Facebook page, Alfred State Football Facebook page, that I've been keeping up with, and he's trying out with, you know, other D1 athletes who have legitimate agents there, and he's over there by himself repping Alfred State Football. So.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's a cool thing to see, you know, especially for a hard worker like him. So.
Well, Riley was just a different breed.
He was different, just different. He had I don't even know how to explain it.
It's work ethic, like it's a combination of things that make a really good athlete.
Yeah, there are a couple guys in that class of Riley. Like I think Roman's up there too, for sure.
Oh, Roman was fast enough, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
Roman could definitely play DB anywhere he wanted. Like,
I feel that too, but I feel like Roman just had the speed and the sticky hands for a wide receiver. You know.
I think the most impressive thing with Roman was how he was able to go get the ball in the middle.
Yeah.
Like just. He could jump in the air like 2 or 3 feet off the ground and land perfectly.
Yeah.
Like if I did that, my knee's gone. I'm like, look, I'd be in a cast with the big knee cast that you got to kind of lock. I wasn't that guy.
One of them big lineman knee braces.
Pretty much.
That's an injury that like sticks with you too. It's
yeah.
You always see people with like knee stuff, and it's just like, oh, there he goes again with his knee brace and stuff like that.
Oh, it's a bit of a career ender, man. It's hard to get back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, knee injuries are always the worst.
And it depends on the type of, you can get a cadaver, you can get a muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it depends on what thing they put back in.
Right.
So, Doug, what else you got?
You talked a bit about like your Irish stuff. What like when you're in an Irish family, like what sort of traditions do you guys have?
Well, me and my dad always, the biggest tradition for our family is obviously the family reunion.
Oh yeah, of course.
When I was actually younger, my dad actually had this tradition where he would take like little like stamp like footprints and like go around the house, for like make it seem like a leprechaun was coming in. So
that's funny.
yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah. We always have green Jello on or around St. Patty's Day. I did have some green Jello with.
Respect that.
Absolutely,
Respect that.
absolutely. Had some green Jello with my dad this past St. Patty's Day, so it was good to continue that.
Did the green Jello have anything in it though?
Not this batch.
Oh,
not
okay.
This batch. I made a different batch with a little bit of a special ingredient.
With
if you know
some
what I mean.
with some hydration juice.
With a little bit of extra hydration.
One of these years, I want to try like an Irish coffee.
Irish coffees are great.
Like I'm not gonna lie, I've seen like I've seen some videos about them on like Instagram or TikTok, and I'm like, I kind of want to try that.
What is an Irish coffee? Is it just like coffee
and
that
liquor?
comes?
Yeah, it's coffee.
Oh, okay.
It's like
Cream, right?
cream liqueur or like Bailey's.
Yeah. Well, Bailey's is super good.
I love
my
Bailey's.
mom has had a lot of. Well, I don't want to make it sound like she's an alcoholic, but she likes Bailey's, and I've had like a sip of it like twice, and it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorite drinks is actually hot chocolate and Bailey's.
Oh
With
yeah.
a little whipped cream,
Uh-huh.
especially around
Well,
Christmas
hot
time.
chocolate is goated.
Yeah.
Hot
absolutely.
chocolate,
And then
It's like S tier. You know what I mean?
It's up there. It's up there. You know, but I always have trouble like I always gotta put in like 2 or 3 packets.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I have to put a heaping amount of the dust.
Gonna
because,
get
like,
diabetes, my man.
I already have it, so
How
I
is
already have it.
that?
It's already there. Part of the Julius.
Part of the Julius mantra.
The Julius. What is the Julius mantra?
Getting stabbed in the back.
No, that is not. Probably something about happiness. Find some happiness.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's so important nowadays, especially with being like college students in general.
Yeah.
Making sure that you keep that stress down and you really enjoy your time here.
Yeah.
You know.
Something that my mom has taught me is really soak up the moment. Like be where your feet are, be in the present.
Smell the roses.
Exactly.
Smell the
Exactly.
roses.
Smell the roses. Because my mom told me this when she dropped me off for my first day of football camp my freshman year. You're gonna blink and you're gonna be a senior, and I graduate next fall.
Oh,
Yeah, same.
So,
What do you call it? I graduate in the spring.
Yeah,
It's kinda
so, I
crazy
mean-
how time flies.
Yeah.
Like I've already been here for three years.
You're not coming back next fall?
I'm coming back next fall.
Oh, gotcha.
Next fall, but I
Next
graduate in the
spring.
spring.
Next spring.
Oh, next spring. Oh, I'm
Next
so
spring.
sorry. My hearing is
No, you're
my
good.
hearing
You're
is
good,
my
man.
hearing
You're
is
good.
shot. I'm pumping my music too
But
loud
it's
through my
interesting.
AirPods.
Like I was talking about a friend today about what do you call it? Football isn't forever. What's the
Yeah.
next step?
Yep.
Like I've seen there's certain majors around me.
Mhm.
They've already signed contracts to go work for employers once
Yeah.
they're graduated. I'm like,
Mhm.
wow.
Yep.
What am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. I got a little bit more time, but I'm definitely trying to like see some of the options. At
Mhm.
least I have.
Yeah.
That's kind of some of my thoughts.
Yeah, I keep seeing guys getting paid internships, all over the place. I got a couple of friends in the architecture program who are getting paid internships over the summer. So, the numbers that they were throwing at me, like upwards of like $22 an hour,
Yeah.
Dang.
which is
That's good.
like, if you really think about it, it's not a lot of money, but like for like an entry level like internship type
Yeah.
thing, just for like a summer, that's a lot.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
is a
lot.
lot. I
That is a
mean,
lot.
compared to other students who are probably going back to their wherever they live and
Yeah.
working minimum wage.
Yeah.
The jump from 15 to 22, that's an extra $7 an hour.
Yeah,
that's a
that-
lot of
that's-
money.
That's gas money
Oh.
right there, my man. That's
Mhm.
gas
You're just
money.
getting paid 15. I mean, that $7 increase. What do you call it? If you work, what is it, 3 hours, you get paid for 4 or whatever. Like, the math is there that I
Mhm.
can't really math right now. But it's like literally, it's a nice little bump.
It's
For
a
sure.
great increase.
For sure.
You
You
know,
know-
especially nowadays with things being a little more pricey.
Hmm
Thanks, Biden.
Thanks to everybody. I'm not even gonna say it's just Biden. It's just
It's, I
like what do you call it? Commerce is really hard. Like
It-
everyone needs to take a piece, and then there's taxes, and then
Yeah.
there's state boundary lines.
Yeah,
there's
especially since we live in New York State, they take so much money from us.
so
Mhm.
much.
So much money. It's insane.
So much.
I'm gonna have to claim taxes this year on landscaping, and I'm gonna be paying a pretty hefty amount. I have a feeling.
I mean, unfortunately that's just New York. But you go to a place like PA. You ever
Yeah.
try and drive around in PA?
Yeah, it's
garbage.
It's garbage.
It's garbage.
It's garbage.
Driving up, like, some of those roads are dirt paths that got paved.
Yeah.
It's garbage.
You ever driven through Northeast?
No. I don't think I have.
Northeast is. There's a couple nice parts of Northeast, but like there's a couple parts where it's like, where are we?
Yeah.
It's like, dirt, like you said, dirt paths, and you have no idea where you're going until you end out on the other side of a forest.
Pennsyltucky, man, Pennsyltucky. Sometimes you get some of that in there. So,
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I like the roads here in New York. I mean,
They're decent at
They're
times.
it could be better, except for the ones on the Seneca reservations.
true. Or if you see, what do you call it? Like if you go past, like if you go towards Poughkeepsie, past
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah.
Very similar to like the Albany area in terms of those roads.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just when you come out to like, what do you call it? When you're out in Hoboken where the roads suck, or like you said Salamanca.
Yeah.
Yeah, Salamanca's
Salamanca's rough.
Salamanca is very.
Salamanca's rough, and so is Irving.
Well, 'cause
Irving,
what do you call it? They've had a lot of problems over the years with what do you call it?
the Seneca Nation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Seneca Nation. There's a lot of drug use on the reservation. Unfortunately, it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really is, and the fact that they still get so much money for like their school districts, like I'm sure that Salamanca just got a brand new athletic complex a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
They got a whole ass new jumbotron that's bigger than ours. They got a brand new turf football field, brand new grandstands, a turf baseball field,
But
two turf lacrosse fields, and a turf soccer field.
the question becomes, what do you call it? What businesses are being put in there?
Right.
What new stuff is being put into Salamanca to keep people there?
Absolutely.
I don't know if they're doing well, like with that. I know Olean does okay.
Olean does all right. Yeah.
We have Cutco going around. There's a couple different car places around.
You guys got
there.
Chipotle too.
Chipotle coming in was big.
Yeah.
You know, if you ever look at the stock price for Chipotle, it's kind of insane.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's that high.
Olean has a Chipotle.
Yes.
Yeah,
does.
I'd be willing to drive to Olean for Chipotle.
Grayson,
Oh,
are
my.
we going to Chipotle today?
I don't know.
That
man.
sounds like something similar that happened in my hometown.
Might be a move tomorrow though.
Might be.
We got. You guys are planning a Chipotle trip right now.
Dude, I haven't had Chipotle in so long.
So good. Bro.
Never had it.
They have-
What?
Yeah, no.
Are you serious?
I haven't had the opportunity to have it.
Where do you live?
I
Under a box.
under a rack. No, I live so far north that it's just I used to live so far north that it was like next to Canada basically.
Are you in New York or are you like?
Yeah, I'm in New York still.
So where in New York?
You ever heard of St. Lawrence County?
Yeah.
Yeah, I live like at the top of. I used to live at the top of St. Lawrence County.
Oh wow, so you're really up there.
Yeah.
You really get a lot of snow, man.
Yeah, we do.
All the snow.
Oh yeah, all the
See, I'm
snow.
kind of jealous of all the snow you guys got. I'm a winter enthusiast myself. I love going skiing, and I have snowmobiles back home. And this year we only got to go out once, so you know it's
It'll like the New York area is good. Like the snow will stay, but
Yeah.
it's got to like get here.
yeah.
And like over the past couple of years, like I've seen the difference from when I was a kid. Like
Mhm.
there's just less. There's a little bit less snowfall in this side of New York.
Mm.
Yeah, it and the fact is, it's like the snowfall more is just so much more like spread out now. It's like not as consistent, because like we'll get a few days of snow and then we'll get 2 days of rain and
It's
and
gone.
then we'll get another day and then we'll get 1 day of nice weather and then we'll get another 2 days of snow. So it's
It's been so inconsistent because again, like
climate
talk
change.
about you talk actually like think about the climate change
Yeah.
thing that's been happening for the past
however many years.
long time.
Yeah.
long time.
Yep.
And
Yep.
we're seeing some of the results of that in our just general weather.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's a little sketchy because like you see, what do you call it? You see, like you're saying, snowfall more spread out.
Yep.
What do you call it? At weirder times, it's not like we get a month of snow and then
Right.
to the next season. It's actually like 2 months of oddly, like,
Oddly sporadic weather.
Yeah.
It's
a
Like
little sketchy.
over Christmas break, I mean, we had a whole like from like the 25th to the 1st, we got no snow.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was just like a whiteout for like a couple of weeks.
Yep.
And it was just, it's so erratic. And I don't like the argument that a lot of people who don't believe in climate change are like, oh, not even climate change, but like global warming. They're like, oh, the globe isn't warming.
Yeah.
It's it's still cold out. Like that's not what global warming means.
It's a degree or two.
Yeah, it's a degree too, but I mean that affects like
It
a
affects
bunch.
everything.
Yeah, it affects
Yeah.
everything, and
Yeah.
it has a bunch of ramifications. It's not only temperature, but it's also weather.
Yeah.
and
Well, I
we're
mean,
seeing
and the
that
more
right
what do you
now.
call it? The more the polar caps melt, the
Mhm.
more rise in sea level you're going to see, and it's a problem for island nations.
Yeah.
Mhm.
More so than it is for people on mainlands.
Like
Mhm.
Puerto
Island
Rico,
nations.
Hawaii, Japan, just all the island nations are gonna
Mhm.
be like, and I mean even the coast, like Florida and a bunch of probably islands out on the Keys and stuff like that. They're gonna see a bunch of, they're gonna see a big influx.
Louisiana too.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
what do you call it? And you'll see like again for maybe a 2 like what do you call it? Maybe a 1 foot 2 foot increase in what do you call it?
Sea level.
Water wouldn't be a big deal for like us as an Americans. Okay, we
Mhm.
just move. But for those island nations, man, 2 feet on an island,
Yeah, an
That's
extra 2 feet of sea level
it
means you're
takes away so much of the what do you call
Yeah,
it? The
The
actual
land
Shore.
mass.
yeah.
So it's a little scary for those nations, man.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, I've seen videos of people's houses getting drowned out because of sea level increasing drastically. It's scary. It's really scary.
Yeah, and like again, we're very fortunate to live in the place we do.
Right.
But it's just it's a weird thing to see, and it's tough because it's not just an American problem. It's not just a Canadian problem. It's not a South American problem. It's a global problem that you kind
Absolutely.
of see all around the
Yep.
place.
Yep.
And I would argue that a lot of places, again, like there's been such. My friend was talking about it today. What do you call it? We make so many things. We produce so much all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Between India, China, what do you call it, Great Britain, even in the United States, we all
Yeah.
produce so many materials, so much waste that goes up into our atmosphere, all that stuff.
I
and
think
it's
the United States like produces like the most cars and like throughout the entire world. Is that right?
Might be.
It might be right.
I know
think
I know we make the most
Los-
F-150s.
Los Angeles is terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. New York City's bad too.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I give New York City some credit. They have what do you call it? They have the train stations and the buses.
Yeah.
They at least try to they've made an attempt because I know they're a huge population center, but they
I
made an
mean-
attempt to kind of get people off
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
of cars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it's not really a bunch of people. Like I'm talking, like millions of people can decide, like, okay, I'm gonna cut down on my like uses and stuff like that. But the big problem is like corporations who make stuff and also like it's just like it's probably most of the like emissions are the 1%. Because I
Yeah.
saw a thing where it was like all the private jets leaving the Super Bowl. And it's like that's all those emissions that come from those planes, like not even like commercial U.S. flights that are taking like multiple people. I feel like the multiple people planes, more people getting to a place where there's one person or, like a group or something, it's just like it's a waste.
But I see the struggle too. Like when you need a car to get to work.
Yep.
Like without a
Yeah.
car, like how do you you can't get to work without a car out here. Like that's kind of impossible.
Yeah.
Like, and there's a lot of areas like that. We have to people are driving an hour and a half
Yeah.
to like population centers to work, and then they come back home.
Yeah, like my mom drives 45 minutes to Erie every day for
And
work.
that's not a
And
bad drive.
my dad drives 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's-
so I mean,
Mhm.
it's
Neither
really
of those
not.
drives are really considered quote unquote bad. Like my dad used to do an hour and a half to Buffalo
Yeah.
to go work for a cleaning a cleaning center.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
I think 40 minutes is like the average drive to work now, isn't
pretty
it?
average, yeah.
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 Because it's tough. Like you want both. You want a good job and you want to live in a nice-ish area
Yeah.
Mhm.
that you prefer.
Yeah.
So you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place with some of that stuff.
Yep.
Unfortunately, because like if you really try and look at where buses go, like there's not enough of them.
Yeah.
And again, and there's not enough of them, and there's not enough people using the ones that are there. So
Mhm.
it's like
Mhm.
I wish we could come up with some plans to kind of make that a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But nothing you can kind of do about it. You're one person in a big ass world.
Right.
Mhm.
So
Just control what we can control, my man.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
that's really one of the main things that I've
pick up
learned.
garbage when you see it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's true. The amount of litter I see around is disgusting.
It
Yeah.
sucks.
It
does
It's
suck. You see
You
disgusting.
see some of those spots where it's like a bunch of cars go by all the time, and you see
Mhm.
like 20 pieces of litter just in the weeds.
Yeah.
It sucks, man, and it stinks because like I know a lot of that is also
Mhm.
like us
Yeah.
younger people.
Yeah.
I mean-
It's a majority of like the majority of that trash that was thrown is by college kids.
Or you see beer cans around,
Yeah.
just thrown out into the woods, like.
Dude, just in Heaven's parking lot, there's so many empty beer cases and beer cans, dude, and
It sucks, man. It's not a good look.
it's really not.
Not a good look, man.
It's really not. Really not.
Maybe that's a problem we could fix. Clean up Heaven.
Yeah.
Go campus. Go campus community.
Campus
Maybe
cleanup.
Another
Cool,
job.
Yeah.
Everybody gets off of classes and go to your event.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. I would actually get off my butt and probably go do something.
I was about to say, how many people would actually go and do that?
50-50.
I feel like there would be a majority of people that are like, yeah, sure, I'd like to clean up campus. But
it was-
then there's that sorry to cut you off.
No,
there's
it's all right.
like 5% where it's like, I don't care. I'm just gonna sit here and do what I've been doing. And
Well, some people, still have some learning to do in terms of not being,
Yeah.
quote unquote, I hate using the word because it sounds so rough, but a little bit selfish.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like, in a
well,
way-
that's exactly what they are, though.
True, but it's a hard word because it's like some people have to be that way. Some people that's all they know. Some people that's their
It's-
defense mechanism.
Yeah, but it's like it's following it. I mean, if you have using the same eulogy, if you have the same if you have trash, just go throw it away. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
It's just the extra 2 to 3 seconds, 2 to 3 minutes that it takes throughout the day just to have to really clean up the places around us and stuff like that. I'm saying that my dorm room is a disaster right now.
Mine as well. It's all right.
Mine is not. So guys,
Oh.
step up.
I know. I
Yep.
got to step up my game.
5%
I got to step
other-
up my
What do you
game.
call it? Me and my roommate just did a little bit of a clean out. So
I need it. Yeah, but mine's mostly clothes. So I mean,
Yeah,
not
mine
that
too.
bad.
nah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, waiting for laundry. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. Once that laundry bin gets half full, take it.
Yeah, I'm always a procrastinator. I always wait till I'm down to my last pair of underwear to do laundry.
Yeah.
It's not a good habit because by then I always have 4 loads to do, and I'm just like,
And then you can't find the washers. And then you
Yeah.
can't find the dryers, man.
yeah.
And listen, I hate being the guy who has to toss somebody's laundry out of the dryer, but I'm not.
Sometimes you just
Yeah.
gotta do
At this
it.
point in my
I
career at
mean,
Alfred State, I'm not waiting.
I wouldn't. I
I'm not
wouldn't.
waiting.
I wouldn't
Tossed
feel
out.
bad because it happens so often. People just need to set a timer when you get.
It's
It's that easy. I've forgotten once though when I set a timer and it went off and I didn't realize. That's the other part. It's when those people sometimes. But I mean that one time that I forgot, I got down there and my clothes were thrown all over the room, and I
Yeah.
was super mad when that
Yeah.
happened.
See, I won't do that. I take all
Yeah.
the stuff and I put it on top of a washer.
Yeah, exactly.
I will do that. I won't toss them on the floor,
Exactly.
but
because that's just rude.
just have respect.
Yeah.
Have a
because
little bit
if
of
somebody someone spent 2 hours to put it into the washer, into the dryer, and then to just toss it on the floor, you're kind of ignorant.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong. I understand if you have to get in, get out, you want to dry your clothes too, but it's a community thing. It's a
Mhm.
community thing. Not everybody's like that, but that's where some people have to learn to grow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
What's important about college?
College
being
is a
around
place of
other people.
growing.
Absolutely, and being away from home for the first time, and getting just like you said, meeting new people, getting new experiences,
Staying clean.
staying
Learn
clean,
how,
forget-
learn how to be clean on
learning
your
how to
own.
live on your own,
I
learning how to
forget
grocery
some-
shop. I'm still learning how to grocery shop.
That's tough.
It is tough
Because
It's-
it's sometimes you want those higher expense items, but they're costly, man.
dude, I'm just going when I go down to Dollar General just to buy a gallon of milk. It's $4.
That's rough.
It's insane.
It's rough.
And half the time I don't even make a list too. I just started making a list for groceries, and
That's good.
I still forget things.
Well, what do
I
you
still
call it?
forget things.
The most productive people work off lists in
Yeah.
the world. So
Yep.
that's something I try to do. I do my own little to-do lists.
Yep.
Especially on those days, yesterday, we didn't have anything going on for football or any of that.
Yeah.
We had the Sunday to ourselves.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure I was productive, so I was the night before, I literally wrote down 5-10 things I could get done
Mhm.
tomorrow, so I
Yeah.
could feel like I was productive.
Mhm.
Got my list done, felt productive. So
And I'm gonna steal a little piece here from Matthew McConaughey. So I follow Matthew McConaughey on Instagram, and I remember watching one of these little shorts, and he's like, "You ever lay in bed at night and your mind's racing and thinking about what you gotta do tomorrow? You're like, oh, I gotta do this, and he's like, just write it down
Yeah.
in your journal, anything and everything. Make it good things to do. say good morning to my wife, or have a cup of coffee, hug my kids.
Well, the key to writing some of those lists is making sure you have 1 or 2 items you can cross off.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Because once you cross off that first thing, it just makes you instantly more productive. It's the same thing, it's kind of like the same concept with like making your bed in the morning.
Yeah.
See, I'm not gonna lie, that one I struggle with.
I do too. I
I struggle with that one.
I struggle with that one too.
Yeah, I struggle with that one as well. It's like that goal kind of thing where it's like, okay, I checked that one off, and it's like, I think as humans and as people, our goals, we strive to like get our goals. So it's like, oh, that's the next thing on the list. I gotta go do that.
Yeah.
And when we see that, our brain, gives us some dopamine and stuff like that. So, I mean, once you start doing that more, it's just like it's a productive loop, I guess.
Absolutely.
The dopamine happy chemical in your brain.
Yeah.
That's serotonin.
Is it?
No, it's dopamine. Dopamine and serotonin, I think,
They go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand sometimes. Yeah. I'm not exactly sure what serotonin does. I know it's something that also makes you happy, but I know dopamine is definitely the happiness chemical.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. For sure.
I'm pretty sure that's why dope is called
dope.
dopamine.
Dope. Yeah.
Because it puts dopamine in your brain.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if I'll have to edit that out. Dougie, you might be on that, but...
No, I'm looking up what does serotonin do, so...
No.
No, but like if we talk about the bed thing, my struggle with the bed thing to make the bed in the morning is going back to your bed and not hopping back in it.
Yeah.
I hop back in.
I do too.
Like,
I do too.
I want, like, I've done it a couple times where it's like, I've tried to make the bed, but I'm just like...
half the time I don't even have time to make my bed because I'm always rolling out of bed and just going to my 9 a.m. class. Like today, I somehow missed my alarm. I woke up at 8:55 for my 9 o'clock class.
Yeah,
I made it on time. It's a new record for me, by the way. But
you gotta go, man.
Hey,
because at that point it doesn't even matter if
it doesn't even matter.
Or not. You just got to get there for attendance.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You just got to take
and
the loss.
it was accounting with Neil, so you really
You got Ryan. Hey, who's got a piece of paper and a pen? Been there.
Yeah, we all have.
Part of the college life.
Exactly.
Part of the experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Back to so what is a problem you see on Alfred today?
Okay, so since we're getting so close to Hot Dog Day,
4:20, it's 4:15. Let's go.
Yes, 4 more days. One of the biggest problems that I have is the guest rule for Hot Dog Day.
What specific rule do you want to
what is
talk
the
about
guest rule?
What is the rule?
So the guest rule is, from my understanding and perspective, is that you're only allowed to have one guest, period. And it doesn't matter if they're on campus or off campus. And that kind of like defeats the purpose of having a guest, does it not? Because one of my friend's girlfriends is coming to stay with us, and she lives in a different dorm. And she has to be signed in as a guest, which kind of defeats the whole purpose, in my opinion, because they literally go here.
Yeah, I think
out in the festivities.
Yeah.
I think they should at least improve it to at least one Alfred guest and one out person guest, out of town guest, because and then at that point because their main concern, I went to a floor meeting, and thank God I did, because I got a bunch of information with it. Their main concern is that there's going to be a bunch of people on campus going to the activities. They want to keep the students safe.
Yeah,
they don't want anyone.
Well, the most trouble, we seen last while ago, Derek. What do you call it?
Derek
who
Correa.
were not in the Alfred community. Came into the Alfred community, and they caused trouble.
Yeah,
they do the police do recognize that a lot of the trouble starts from outsiders of the Alfred community.
Those 4 guys were from Elmira, so I mean, shocker.
True.
I have a friend from Elmira.
I can just kind of see where this was probably stemming from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this was a rule before this. This is always. I'm pretty sure this has always been a rule for Hot Dog Day, no matter what.
I never really understood it. I've always felt that we should have 2 off-campus guests, and that, and I feel that Alfred people shouldn't be counted as a guest because, like I said, they literally go here. A student is a student. I mean, it'd be one thing if they're bringing a guest over from AU, but that's kind of wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Because they're still here and they're still part of Hot Dog Day as well. So I mean, because I know for a fact that AU promotes it. for sure.
I mean, college is all around, though. I mean,
Yeah,
Holiday is
yeah.
big, like it's the college 4th of July sort of.
Yeah, I mean, it's just. Are you familiar with Fred Fest?
No.
It's so up at SUNY Fredonia. They have Fred Fest, which is their hot dog day. It's it's the whole. It's actually bigger than hot dog day.
Yeah, it's an event.
Yeah, it's the whole. So the college itself is actually like a mile away from downtown Fredonia, and not hot dog day, Fred Fest actually takes place in downtown Fredonia. So like
It's
it's
a big excuse for college students to go out into the town.
Yeah.
That's Fredonia.
yeah, absolutely, and
And Fredonia's kind of nice, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I like
Pricey, but nice.
my grandparents live in Fredonia, so
I'm jealous.
they actually live right across from the college. So
Well, and they do a lot of cool stuff with like what do you call it? They have a lot of writing majors like
yeah, a lot of
journalism, what do you
English,
call it? Broadcasting.
communications,
Yeah,
yeah,
all
a lot
that
of stuff.
Fredonia's cool for that.
Yeah,
not
for
gonna
sure.
lie.
I'm actually kind of shocked that Fredonia doesn't have a football team, because they literally have a practice field on their campus.
Aren't they they're private, right?
No, they're SUNY.
They're SUNY.
Yeah.
You gotta set it up. Finding what do you call it? And it's like finding good coaches that stick around.
Yeah,
In some of the smaller
It's
areas.
tough, and developing a new D3 program is tough,
Tough.
especially
'Cause you start out at the bottom, man.
Yeah, I mean, look at Hilbert.
Dude, they got a bet. I don't know why they joined the Empire. Like, I
They're
don't know why,
getting-
right off the bat. I mean, it's cool that you have high goals, but to join the Empire 8 is kind of rough.
Yeah,
Because I'm not gonna lie, like St. John Fisher's pretty good. Like
St. John Fisher's okay. I'd be more worried about Brockport than St. John Fisher, and obviously you got the national
well, they
champions
just got, what do
Cortland.
you call it? They just got bodies. Like they have a JV team and a varsity team.
Yep.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like
Yep.
it's
They just got
depth.
people to.
Yeah.
They just got mad bodies.
Yeah,
Man.
Brockport has a JV team. Cortland has a JV team. AU has a JV team.
And it kind of sucks. Like in a way, it sucks that we don't.
Yeah,
my first
'cause-
2 years here, like I don't know if I learned that much.
Yeah.
Like on the football team,
Yeah.
I would argue I did not.
I honestly I don't like Coach Lynn's rule about being a manager first if you're gonna walk on. I feel like
I don't mind that.
it's kind of wishy-washy for me. It's just I feel like I don't know.
It's to show. It's to see if you can attend.
Yeah,
That's it.
for sure.
It's just an attendance thing.
Yeah, it's to see if you can make that commitment, and I understand. I absolutely understand it for sure.
And like, don't get me wrong, it's not fun. It's
Yeah.
not it's a humbling experience. Like
Yeah.
For what do you call it? For a whole season, you get to see people do what you love to do.
Yep.
Not fun. It's not exact, and a lot of people don't like that, so they quit.
Yeah.
But in a lot of ways, some of that's good because do you really want people on your team that give up that easily?
Teaches you discipline too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like if you're not showing up to stuff, you got to communicate with coaches. Like
Yeah.
I didn't mind being a manager.
I mean, I feel like managers are just as important part of the football team as as the coaches and players. I feel like
Hugely important.
absolutely.
And in a way, Coach Lynn has to do that because sometimes they do need help.
Absolutely.
Like, they need help with people in the box, like to run the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Like to
Mhm.
run the times, to like
Yeah.
beep stuff on time,
Yeah.
like to play
And
music.
Which and we know how that goes. So.
Yeah, it's kinda like, we had a couple managers kind of a little wishy-washy. But it's important.
Yeah.
Wishy-washy. I've
When they
never
were
heard
playing
that
sound
before.
effects during walkthroughs.
Oh, we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that.
That had me dying. That had
was-
me laughing my ass off.
Oh man.
'Cause, like,
Okay.
we were all just like, what?
What
Who's
kind of
playing
sound
this?
effects were they?
Something
They were
stupid.
playing some stupid shit.
Oh,
it was like
it was
it was the-
game one. It was the
yeah, they were doing like
get I don't know, get
like,
excited.
it was like yes,
That's what it was.
yes,
That's exactly
yes.
what it was.
They did that one.
That's good.
Which other ones they did? I think they did like something for like first down or something like that.
So stupid.
Oh
yeah.
boy.
And
They were putting like Big Blue up on the jumbotron.
had me dying.
That I was like, oh god.
That was, I'm not gonna lie, like looking back, that was probably one of my favorite practice days just because like Coach Lynn was like, get him out of here. Gone. Gone.
Anyways,
Yeah.
but no, back to the problem solution though.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah, I
say
was
we
about to
kind
say,
of
we kind of got off
a
track there,
little
but hey, it's
you know,
all right.
adding one like an out of town guest would be kind of nice.
Yeah, I
Because
feel
you
like
also want to encourage our atmosphere here.
yeah, absolutely.
Because like, there's a lot of things that are like promising about Alfred, like what do you call it, our student community, our
Yeah.
like what do you call it, our fraternity community, our sports community. There's a lot of good vibes going on,
Yeah,
Just
absolutely. I
Alfred
agree.
In general, I think like just good vibes.
and you want to showcase that, like to not like, yes, it's a security thing, but people are gonna be doing dumb things no matter what. So
It's college, like Come on.
In a way, you just showcase the town, man.
Yeah. I'm planning on having a couple of my friends from high school come up, because, one of them has been here plenty of times before. And the other friend that I'm going to bring up he's never been here. He's never seen Alfred, and I feel like it's a great way to just, expand the outreach of the Alfred community,
Because that's what's important, and like that's how you build a diverse community of campus. Like,
Absolutely.
Because I feel like that's where one of the ways that AU has kind of fallen behind
Yeah.
to their recruitment of people. It's just like bringing in people to see your campus and like allowing them to partake in some of the festivities.
Right.
Like Hot Dog Day is probably the most exciting event that happens all year.
Oh yeah,
Like,
no, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Like off campus that isn't like related to a college. Like it's.
You will be able to debate the Alfred State versus Alfred U football game though, when we join the Empire 8 not next year, but the year after.
Yeah.
That'll be up there for sure.
Of course that'll be up there, but it's sporting. It's attached to both colleges.
Yeah, of course, but I still feel like Hot Dog Day is going to be the biggest, no matter
the
what.
biggest leisure activity spot.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the amount of alumni that come back for Hot Dog Day alone is just insane.
Because it's a great atmosphere, man.
I mean,
A lot of people have great memories from this campus.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's the people you meet or the clubs you're in.
it's honestly kind of crazy. The last Hot Dog Day that I was at was my freshman year, and I saw so many old heads here partying with young college kids, and they were all alumni. And
yeah, you'll see it.
and I was
What do you
like,
call it?
and then
Roman will come back. Oh, what do you call it?
yeah, Roman will
Bunch of
be.
the old football
Oh yeah,
dudes.
for sure. Roman will be here. And I saw a bunch of like old fraternity guys, like really like old fraternity guys that were like
'cause
here
they're
in like
still-
the
what do you call it?
'90s and the '80s.
Quote unquote, they're still brothers.
Yeah. They are.
Mhm.
They are.
It's
They
nice
gotta.
to kind of go back for a second and be like, yeah, I was a part of this. That was my what do you call it? That's my paddle.
At the same time, I feel
name
like
on
it's a bunch of old heads really wanting to relive their college days, but
Well, I
it's-
mean, there's some argument to be said. Like some of them probably peaked there, but
yeah.
you don't know.
There's that
Each
that
their own.
argument can be made, especially for a lot of frat guys can say that, but
a lot of, I feel like a lot of frat guys get a little stuck there.
yeah, I agree. I
Like don't get like they're here, they live it up on campus.
Mhm.
They're around what do you call it? Oh, like bunch of beautiful girls all the time. They're
Yeah.
out and about, but like you kind of look at it, it's like, what do they do after that?
my dad told me that joining a frat is basically paying for friends, and he's right.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
right, because these are his words, not mine. It's a bunch of losers who sit around and pay thousands of dollars for friends and have to pay an extra $1,000 out of their pocket just to live in the house. His words, not mine. Nothing. His words, not
That's-
mine.
that's
I
pretty
promise. I promise. But in a sense,
There's two sides to every
Of course.
view.
Of
Don't
course.
Get me wrong.
Absolutely.
Is he 100% wrong? Probably not.
probably not.
No.
But at
know,
the same time, I was like, let's not
I don't
let's
know
not
if
go that far.
Saying losers is a little bit strong.
That's what I said.
I
But
think, I think it's kind of funny.
I think
he's-
some-
I thought it was hilarious. I was dying. I was friggin' dying.
Some guys who can't do the sports thing, that's a home for them.
Yeah.
That's a home for them.
Yeah, and it
So you can't undervalue.
absolutely,
undervalue that.
absolutely.
Especially if you don't know like what your major is gonna be, and you don't have that sort of like if you're like kind of like I don't know much about this, and
Yeah.
you're not if you're not into sports, if you're not like super into your major, it's a good way to
Because you want to be around the boys.
It's
Exactly.
yeah, it's
There for the boys.
it provides a sense of belonging.
exactly
It really does, and and that's a really good thing about frats is that they provide brotherhood
Mhm.
and a sense of there might be some kids here that don't have parents, and it can provide some sort of family.
Not everyone can
It's-
do the independent thing.
Right.
Yeah,
Not everyone
absolutely.
can. Not everyone can come to college and just be on all the time.
Yeah.
Like some people need to be around other people.
Mhm.
And I show them a way, not the way, but a way.
Yeah,
A way
absolutely.
to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also a thing about college. It's just like you don't want to be alone during college because if you're alone, then you're
That's
I mean,
boring.
yeah, it's boring, and it's like it's just a formula for just like a bad experience.
Yeah.
If you're alone during college, it's
You're not setting yourself up for success.
exactly
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
not only networking, but like just you're not going to enjoy your time here at all.
Mhm.
You're a bit, what do you call it? My friend was talking about how in college, being around all the different clubs, it's very similar to like a work environment. Whereas,
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
when you're in a work, like when you're in, your later part of life, your only social group is going to be probably your work.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when you're in college, all the clubs provide one little hub of people.
Absolutely.
You know, so you get
Yeah.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
You go to 5 or 6 club events. You have
Mhm.
5 or 6 social gatherings of
Mhm.
people.
Mhm.
Put you around more people.
Yeah.
And it kind of grows you a little bit. Whereas later on in life, you don't have as many hubs. You only have like one.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of a cool little view I got from a friend of mine.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And
Mhm.
that's a valid point, Julius. It's a very valid point.
You know, that's what's kind of cool about college is all the clubs, all the people you meet.
Yeah,
Like
I
doing
agree.
all the extracurricular events, man.
For sure.
Meeting some new people that aren't,
For sure.
you know,
For sure.
Yeah.
aren't in your norm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Just expanding out of that comfort zone, you know.
Yeah. Talking about
Well
that the other day.
said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good place to. Are we feeling good about ending it
Yeah,
there?
oh yeah,
I'm
I'm
not gonna lie, that
feeling
was a
great.
pretty good line, Grayson.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
well, thank you very
All right.
much.
So that's been the show today. I want to thank you, Grayson, for coming on the show.
Thanks for
Yes,
having me. It
thank
was a good
you.
time. It was a good time.
And as always, Doug, thank you for being primo. You know, you're our guy.
I'm a primo. They pay for me.
So we'll attach some of the socials, and we'll get this episode out to you guys. So thank you for watching.
Like and subscribe.